Muchas gracias. Buenos días. Bien, solamente quisiera hacer una precisión antes de empezar las distintas intervenciones, y es que vamos a solicitar preguntas al finalizar cada una de las presentaciones. Es decir, que cuando doña Pamela Brumter termine su intervención, bueno, habrá turno de preguntas para ella. Consideramos que es más apropiado porque está en la mesa, tiene la capacidad de contestar inmediatamente y, bueno, en definitiva vamos a seguir ese orden. Entonces, como se plantea en el programa, la primera presentación del día corre a cargo de doña Pamela Brumter-coret, jefe de la Unidad de Profesiones Reguladas de la Dirección General del Mercado Interior y Servicios de la Comisión Europea. El título de la ponencia es la transposición de la Directiva 2005/36 sobre el reconocimiento de las cualificaciones profesionales, el punto de vista de la Comisión Europea sobre la aplicación de la directiva a las profesiones de ingenieros. Por favor, please.
Thank you very much. Yes, it's working. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. It's my pleasure to be invited here today to speak about the directive. The directive is now in implementation, so I would say the time is more than ripe to describe it and to explain its functioning. I have been asked to recall the basics of the system, so I will start with this. And then I will explain also where we stand with transposition in member states, and also with something that could also be of interest, especially to our guests here, is about the cooperation between what we call competent authorities, which will of course touch our guests in the first place. So let me then start with the explanation of what this directive is about. First of all, we have to recall that why this directive exists and why EC law applies to these matters, to professional qualifications. It is because in member states professions are regulated. For your profession, we will see it's not always the case, but of course in general in Europe, and this directive covers all regulated professions. We have today around 800 different professions regulated by the 27 member states. In absence of regulation, the directive does not apply, and then it's just a matter for employers to choose whoever they want to employ. What is a regulated profession? A regulated profession in the sense of the directive, it's a profession where the activity is made subject to the possession of specific qualifications, professional qualifications, and the definition is very wide. So it can be the use of a professional title that is being regulated, and that is enough in order for the directive to apply. And this definition is also applying to systems like in the United Kingdom or in Ireland, where you have, in order to practice, to be member of an association which itself regulates the way to practice the profession. So in the UK, that's the well-known chartered engineers, they have chartered accountants, they have that for almost 20 professions. Engineering is a regulated profession in quite a lot of member states, not all branches, so engineering is, in fact, in terms of profession, there are different branches which would lead for the fact that there are different professions amongst engineering itself. FEANI had carried out a study in 2005 and had found out that taking all branches, 21 out of 25, at the time we were only 25 member states, were regulating one way or the other the profession, and they had come as engineers with a kind of calculation of regulatory rates which was felt to be around 80%, so here it says 84. So that stems from the study of FEANI, which I must say was very well done in also going into much details about the rate of the kind of regulatory requirements by member states. So definitely your profession is affected by this directive, I mean there is no doubt about it. So why do we have a scheme for recognizing professional qualifications? Because obviously if professionals want to be mobile from one member state to another, the fact that a qualification is being required constitutes an obstacle to their free movement. The directive looks both at employed person So it's the free movement of workers, but it's also, of course, liberal professions. And this legitimate need for member states to regulate has to be, of course, reconciled with this free movement of professionals, right, stemming from the treaty. And the solution is given by directives at European level, which are laying down mechanisms according to which fully qualified professionals in one member state will benefit from the recognition of their qualifications when they will exercise the same profession in another member state. So the condition, of course, is that they have to be fully qualified in their home member state. Directive 2005/36 is the one who is making that possible, setting out mechanism. It is new to a certain extent, but let us be honest about it. There were directives before that, and this directive is a consolidation and simplification of this pre-existing directive to a large extent. Mr. President, you were mentioning architects. Yes, I mean, this directive has also a particular regime for certain professions, amongst them architects, for which it does harmonize the training requirements. So there we have gone very far at EU level, because we are setting the standards, minimum training standards, so member states can go beyond that, but they have to accept automatically, so without checking anything, the professionals who hold diplomas that attest that they meet at least these minimum training conditions. So of course that's the best we can offer at EU level, that's for sure. We only have that, unfortunately, for 7 professions, and it's largely due to the fact that in order to impose on member states a particular training scheme, you need to have unanimity of member states under the present treaty. So today, education remains competence of member states, and the EU has limited competence to intervene. One possibility, of course, is mobility of professionals, the internal market, the realization of the internal market. But in order to do that, imposing training standards to member states, one needs to have unanimity. So that is the case today. It might change with the new treaty, but of course the new treaty is still a question mark whether we will have it or not. So for the moment, we stay with this situation. So of course what happens for all the oldest professions, they are under what we call a general scheme, the general system, which is a system of mutual recognition, which means that we don't impose anything on member states in terms of training requirements. We just try to make it